I'm gonna be a little honest here. The title was a tiny bit misleading. I didn't actually delete my entire game. Just, all of the parkour and weapons and, basically all the code. And you may be wondering, why the hell would I do that? Well, there's a good reason. When I first started working on Dead Sun, I was still pretty new to Roblox development. And with almost no coding experience, the extent of my understanding was I basically just knew how to take tutorials and uh, change the animation or something. I don't know. I didn't know how to code very well at all. But over the course of a year and a half, from then until my third devlog, I did improve quite a bit. However, the entire time I was just continuing to add and add and add to the old systems, and that made the game just a massive mess of spaghetti code, and it was almost impossible to debug and work with. And after learning about modules in Roblox even more, and how frameworks are created, I decided the best way to ensure longevity for Dead Sun would be to rewrite all of it. And honestly, I'm glad I did. So, where does one begin with creating high quality movement? Well, with the movement, of course. I started by replacing the built in system with one I created based off of it. Roblox by default tells you the direction of input, and normally it just uses the built in system of just applying force in that direction at the walk speed, but it's not super customizable. Oh, by the way, sorry if my mic sounds a little off today. I can't find my pop filter. I was able to apply velocity on the player on the X and Z axis, and I was eventually able to add acceleration and deceleration. But I didn't stop there. By default on Roblox, the movement animations like, walking, will play if you're moving rapidly across the ground. Which means that until you fully stop moving, during the deceleration, you will actively play the walk animation at full speed, which leads to it feeling super disconnected and kinda janky. Which normally isn't a problem since Roblox deceleration is almost completely non-existent, but in this case, of course, it would be a major issue. And I fixed it by implementing a honestly rather simple system. I essentially just made my own walk animation to override the default one. Basically, I changed the animation speed of the walk animation based on your acceleration and deceleration, so that when you start to decelerate, the animation will gradually slow down and then stop completely, which, although not entirely accurate to real life, made the movement feel a lot more smooth. Now that I had base movement, I decided it was about time I started working on the parkour. As of the writing of this devlog, I have sprinting, ledge movement, vaulting, sliding, rolling in fall damage, and zip lines. All of which amounted to a total of 34 animations and counting, which were hell to create. And there's also a ton of smaller improvements, like better alignment, improved responsiveness, performance fixes, and redesigned features. But those are a little less noticeable. I've decided to create an obstacle course using all of these. So let me know what you think of it in the comments, or if you don't care, just skip. I don't know. In the future, I do want to make more updates to it, like fixing some less noticeable bugs and implementing parkour flow a little better. But we'll talk about that in my next devlog. Alright guys, so since the last devlog, I noticed I've been neglecting the systems that are actually in place for horror in Dead Sun. Back in the earlier devlogs, I showcased the day and night cycle, and I am keeping that. I think it's pretty good. But I also hope to make the lunar cycle affect the type of zombies you see. So, how exactly can I make the nighttime scary? Considering I am making this on a block game, you know, I'll tell you one thing: I can't just make it dark. God, I hate that. Like just because the game is dark, that doesn't mean it's gonna be scary. Anyhow, I got to brainstorming on how I can do this, and I've got a few ideas. Basically, I can maximize the nighttime's fear factor by, of course, making it dark, but not too dark to the point where I can't see anything. That way, whenever you feel safe, the safety is broken when you witness a little creature going crawling in the night. I think for the lighting, I mainly want to increase the fog ever so slightly, dim the colors a bit to make it seem less lively, and block out most moonlight. I should also work on the sound design. Back when I played through Dying Light, the night terrified the hell out of me when I first played it. And I think that was in part because of the sound design. It just felt so desolate. The lack of people, cars, or any life at all. It was great. In nature, it's a commonly known fact that when the creatures and whatnot surrounding you go quiet, and suddenly the whole forest is dead silent, there's a reason for that. And I want to capture that feeling. When it's nighttime, you're not safe. I mean, in the day, sure, humans are all tough and stuff, and they can easily kill the zombies. But at night, that's when, and forgive my corniness here, that's when the monsters come out, and they will find you. That's basically what I'm going for. If I get a nice wind sound mixed with a couple of scarce night noises like crickets, mice, crows, and other things, and then I cut that sound when there's a volatile or any of the other night dwellers around, then I'm sure I can creep out some people. I just wanted to say that I really appreciate all the love that the game has received. Honestly, when I made that first devlog, I never expected it to blow up like that. I mean, I know my videos have died off relatively, but it's honestly still crazy. So thank you. And if you are excited for Dead Sun, I recommend you join the Discord server. Link in description. In the server, you can upload your very own suggestions, chat with a community of fellow Roblox or Dying Light players, and view exclusive sneaks and announcements, or even talk with me. With the new camera system in place, I thought it was about time I started working on something which is honestly way too uncommon on Roblox, and that is cutscenes. Now, the reason I think it's way too uncommon is that they're actually super easy. All I had to do was make a system which, when triggered, will position the player, spawn necessary NPCs, and play animations on them. Since the camera already follows the head, I can just disable camera movement, and it works great. And the method I used allows me to really easily add NPCs to whatever cutscene, and it's super adaptable. And using that system and a tiny bit of unpaid labor, I was able to create a simple bed mechanic. And with the amazing skills of one of my animators, recreate a cutscene from the original Dying Light. And I plan on having quite a lot of cutscenes in Dead Sun. So let me know what you think about it in the comments.
Come on, Raheem! Oh, God. The whole damn building came down! Oh, shit! Raheem, stop! It's a fucking... You goddamn stupid fucking kid! Oh, God. Jade.
Alright, I know I said this would be my last devlog, but honestly, there's so much more stuff I want to show you guys. Now, there will still be a pretty large wait before now and my next devlog, but I will make sure to post sneaks and stay active in the Discord server. And I've got a lot of cool things coming, including testing later this year. Once again, I need all the feedback I can get so I can make this game the best it can possibly be. And thanks for watching.